your plans into one. Don't forget, my son, to include everyone. That's such a late moment thing. Keep you free from the sin. To the Sandman he comes. Sleep with one eye open, gripping your pillow tight. It's light hands on night. Take my hand, watch you never, never end. Sundays rolls up the light, every thought's tonight, and the hours no white. Dreams of war, dreams of lies, in the dragon's fall, and the things I will play. Sleep with.
All right, man. Yes. What is going on? What is going on? Let's pull this up. Man, my name is Gerald Peters. Pull this up. Boom. And we are live, man. What's going on? Hey, don't forget to click like. If you're not a subscriber, maybe jump on that too, man. And if you don't have a copy of my free ebook, you don't have to die broke. Oh, man. All you got to do is hit the link. Go to geraldpeters.info or wherever you're watching this. Man, we had basically a crash. What's up, man? Dylan, what is up, my man? What's up, man? What's up, Michael? Yes. What's up, man? We got a lot of people in the house. Posted a link there. Might want to go check it out. What's up, Instagram? Click over to YouTube. Probably a little bit better. We'll save it over there, man. If you don't know, let's see. Let me take me down a little bit, man. Let's pull this up right now. Bitcoin. It doesn't look as bad as it did earlier today. This is Bitcoin on a 1 minute chart. I've been day trading it since about 4 o'clock this morning, about 3 o'clock this morning, using perpetual contracts over at Coinbase, where you can get 10 or 20 to 1 leverage. A good way to either blow out or make some money. He said, let's go time to get rich. Absolutely, man. Sometimes it can be hard, especially if you got yourself on margin, you got yourself over leveraged. What's up, man? What's up? Well, it can be, a little painful. Let's look at this. This is coming in. Price has a tendency, at least I believe, that price stops where it has stopped before, if only temporarily. And that's how you get stuff like resistance, right? So now this would be overhead resistance right in here. And right now, we're kind of just playing in through this little channel here we see. Now, we'll see if it breaks that. What's up, man? What's up? What's good? Money team. Let's go, man. We need stocks and BTC to come down to make the gains. This is a good overtime. Yeah, I agree. If anybody's having problems with it, man, reach out to me. Especially if it's your first sell-off. I know it might sound crazy, but there are people, this is their first time to have the market go down on them. And that can surprise you if you're not ready for it, man. Let me save this. So we're still on this 1 minute, and it looks like that little zone right there held up. I would expect it to. But if it broke, let's say it breaks, I would expect it to go to the next one and hold up there. And as a short seller, I would probably start covering some of my shorts. Now, if you notice, the direction of the 20-day moving average is down, man. We hit RSI extreme. We had the turn on the MACD. We started to get a bullish cross on the TSI, but then it went the other way. And we had the money flow indicator, which is pretty darn good at picking the bottom. And this last little thing picked the exact bottom. So let's see what's up. Now that works both ways, okay? My dad used to call this tarot card reading. What's up, man? What's up? What's up? Ryan H, what's up, man? ENVX looks cheap. Did it get smashed? And I haven't even looked. Supposed to have a guest on today. I didn't do a very good job at getting with him. Okay, yeah, we were going to do it in the evening. That's right. My bad, bro, if you're on here. We were going to do it on the evening. So we're going to get a MFG member to come on this evening. And good morning. Good morning, Vietnam. And see.
Yes, was on CNBC. He was expecting Bitcoin to be $150,000 by the end of the year. Want to find out if he's changed his tune since late October, given the recent move in the crypto space. You're looking at Bitcoin right now at $94,000, 632. Michael Saylor is the strategy founder and executive chairman. Good morning to you.
$2,500.
$150 by the end of the year. What do you think's happening here?
You know, I think we all want to go to the moon, but if you want to ride the rocket, you got to be prepared to pull the G's. Over 5 years, Bitcoin's had like 6 brutal drawdowns. If you roll the clock back 13 months, we were sitting around 68,000. And then after the Trump election, we had this incredible rally from 68 to 106,000 in 5 weeks. If you go back 14 months, we were about 55,000. And so if you'd said we're going to go from 55,000 to 94,000 in 14 months, that would have exceeded any reasonable investor's expectations. Over 5 years, Bitcoin's up about 50% a year on average for the 5 years. Gold and S&P are studying the cost capital at 14%. My company's strategy is up 71%, equivalent to NVIDIA. There's no other stock in the S&P that's done any better. So I think the volatility comes with the territory. If you're going to be a Bitcoin investor, you need a 4-year time horizon, and you need to be prepared to handle the volatility in this market.
So when you look at the price right now, and then we'll talk about the implications for strategy, but when you look at the price right now, what does the upside at this moment look like to you, and what does the downside in this moment look like to you?
You know, I feel like we put in a pretty strong base of support around here. There's an incredible amount of leverage coming out of the system.
We got a breakout going. Back on the 1 minute here. We got it breaking out. Now Bitcoin's at 96,586. So while you were sleeping, it fell down to about, what was it, 94, I think was the low. Let me see. Yeah, it looks like we had a low of about 94. 94.5 right in there. And then we got all the signals. Money flow indicator went -20. That is almost always a buy signal. Didn't work that time, didn't work that one, but it usually is a buy signal. MACD turn, we had the RSI hit. So, but if you get a sustained downtrend, you know how it'll be a runaway. You know, it'll run, it'll go stage 3, and then it'll run. But we're getting a breakout on the 30-minute chart. Breakout on the 30-minute chart.
system, a lot of liquidation. A lot of the OG holders were selling at the $100,000 level, and so I'm fairly comfortable at this level. I would think that we'll build from this base and we'll rally from here. Obviously, it's hard to make a forecast for the end of the year right now, given what's happened over the past few weeks, and especially the shift in the macro environment. But, as you know, my view is Bitcoin's going to outperform gold. It's going to outperform the S&P. It is digital capital. And so if you're a long-term investor, this is the place to be.
In terms of the way your fund is structured and the debt that you've taken out to effectively buy Bitcoin, what are the trigger points, just so people understand the full risks involved for you in terms of some of these preferreds and other things, in terms of where Bitcoin needs to lie, either on the low end?
Well, I mean, it's pretty important to note that we're not even 1.15 times levered. We're very fractionally levered, and our debt that we have is 4.5 years out. So we don't really have any trigger points anytime soon. And if Bitcoin were to fall 80%, we're still over collateralized, and we're
part of the reason Michael's saying this. Pull up the chart here. So here we go. We had our breakout. Let me clean up this chart a little. So we had our stage 2 breakout, and, stage 1 is just about putting in this base, and look, it stopped where it has stopped before. So before, this was kind of resistance. Now that becomes support, and we're going to run back up to probably where it was before, this 97-100 range, unless the RSI hit. So what we need is it kind of to slow down. And if the move up slows down, it won't trigger that RSI as fast. We still haven't hit it on the money flow indicator. So we'll get back on it. Let's see what this does. So now we're at 96,869. We've come up, almost 700 points since I got on the stream, right? Is that right? What's up, man? Greg says, like, comment, and share. That would be cool. If you did that, that would be cool.
fine. So our balance sheet's pretty stable. The company's strategy, just like an intelligent bank, would be to build amplification for the common stock using preferred equity. So the equity never comes due. It's a dividend payment declared by the board. It's not a coupon. We can't be in a default. There is no credit default situation from the digital credit that we're selling at this point.
Well, Mike has it different than we do. See, he's not talking about margin. He's talking about going to the bank, borrowing money, and then buying Bitcoin. That's different than margin, okay? Margin you can blow out on. Margin you can get called on much easier than a bank loan. Bank loan, now if you put up that Bitcoin as collateral, then there will be a cutoff point where they were like, hey, you got to pay. What range do you use on your charts for Bitcoin? 1 day, 5 day? What range, Daniel says? Well, this chart here is a 1 minute chart, and it goes all the way back to, it just keeps going, man. There's no turnoff point on Bitcoin. So look, we hit our target, 97,100, exactly where we're talking about, and it turns around. Now, if I was day trading, I do candle by candle. The moment it got under that candle, I'm out. And then we'll load it all back on again if it turns up. That's a little tight, but I am using perpetual contracts from Coinbase where you get 20-to-1 leverage. Futures, you get about 5-to-1 leverage on Bitcoin, sometimes a little higher. But on futures, you get 20-to-1 on gold. Man, let's look at this. So there's our breakout. Stage 2 breakout is happening on the 30-minute chart, okay? That's the 30-minute chart. Let's see. That's the 1 minute. What's up, James? Yes, man. So, you know, everybody's mentioning gold. Let's share this tab instead. Hey, check it out. If you haven't already, if you go over to stock charts, here's your stock charts homepage. If you look to your left, over here, you'll see your chart list. When you click that up, these are the folders that you've made up. So dogs of the Dow, 13 in there, because sometimes I look at the doggishness today, and I run that a lot, and then I'll put the new ones in there. But basically, there's 10 stocks in that one. That's dogs of the Dow, right? Stream yield option income funds, 158 funds in there. Grow, 32. That's the top 30 stocks of the NASDAQ. High yielding stocks, there's 172 in there. MFG crypto coins, 36. Monthly dividend payers, 49. A lot of these have some overlap. Here's some stuff for some books I was working on. My point is, yeah, make sure you click the vote button if you would. But if you come down here, that was on your chart list. Come down here to public chart list right here. Click it. Above the green line is number 1. And we come in number 3, Money Flow Trading Society, MFG here. We come in swing trading, chart patterns, and cycle analysis. That's interesting. They put us on there. We've had 6,949 votes, surpassing number 2. So why in the hell is this guy number 2? Rank number 2. He's got 227 followers and 4,000 votes. We got 300 and 6,900 votes. Man, they're robbing me, man. God damn. I wonder what's up with that. We need to ask. I need to ask, I guess. All right, man. So anyway, if you click on that, it'll bring up all the stocks that I keep an eye on. Probably too many. I need to clean it up a little bit. Some of them you're going to see doubles of, and click vote right there if you would. One of the reasons that you might see doubles. Let's get back on Bitcoin. One of the reasons you might see doubles is I might have a 1 hour, a daily, and maybe a weekly for whatever reason, just so you can see the time continuity. Time continuity, we're getting fancy today. Time continuity is where you lay time over itself. So I might be executing trades on a 1 minute chart. I may get my direction to do that from a 5 minute chart. Okay. And I might get to, what happened to that guy driving a Tesla investor? He went ghost. Not sure who you're referring to, bro. James said, what happened to the guy driving a Tesla investor? He went ghost. Sugar Lumps, what's up? MSTR at 205. Too good a price. Hard to believe, huh? Man. We're right back to the high. We should break through it this time since we touched it last time. Typically how it works. I don't want to make it sound simple. Now, some things are just patterns that I believe. And then by holding to them, keep an eye on this RSI up here. RSI is at 66. Let's watch it. It's going to struggle right here because we're back to overhead resistance, right? And so, maybe we're caught in a channel here now. I'm always prepared for that. That would be support, right? So let's put an S. And typically, if I'm doing stop losses, I like to put them below support. So below the anchor point, right? If I have an anchor point, and the anchor point, if you trade the money flow, are the lowest lows of a structured move. By structured move, I mean from a high to a low, right? That's not a structured move. It didn't get going. This here is still part of this one because it didn't break it. So that confirmed it. And then we had our stage 2 breakout right here. And so now we're running up. When this RSI goes extreme, that will be a completed structured move. I don't count it unless the RSI goes extreme. And then it was just a move that failed. Okay. Boom. 69. We just hit it. Man. Come on, man.
Hey, I'm Kramer. Welcome to Mad Money. Welcome to Kramerica. Other people want to make money. I'm just trying to save you a little. My job is not just entertainment. It's to teach you to deal with days like today. So call me at 1-800-743-CBC. You can tweet me at Jim Kramer. Somebody has to play the bad guy. Might as well be me.
Mm.
In the last 2 months, regular viewers of this show know I've gotten cautious on the more speculative stocks connected to the data center and AI. I've said repeatedly that when I say insider selling and secondary offerings, borrowings, and operations with no revenue, I'd have to take a step back. I had proclaimed 2025 as the year of magical investing, where if you bought anything at all that's involved in the data center, you made money. Earlier this week, though, and what I admit is a very big change for me, I pulled the plug on the year of magical investing. I pronounced it over. Dead. Well, you know, that's a really good call. Dow tumbling 798 points, S&P plunging 1.66%, NASDAQ plummeting 2.29%. Nothing magical about those figures. Today was a hideous day, but particularly for tech, most especially the data center and AI stocks.
Boom. Come on, Jim. Yeah, making me feel bad. We're breaking through 97,162. We're breaking through the previous high here where we touched before, but we got a doji right here, and that usually means a reversal. There is a doji right there, man. Now, a doji isn't really a buy or a sell signal. It's an alert. It's letting you know. A doji's letting you know that the buyers and the sellers have come together, man. You know, they're even. It's not going higher, it's not going lower, man. Yeah, basically like that. And so the doji is, man, I was working on a whole thing about dojis. Let me get back on here. Different types of dojis. Box dojis, 2-box dojis, 3-box dojis. But we're breaking through. So I usually ignore them. I ignore dojis unless they're at critical points. The end of a structured move and the RSI is extreme, right? Halfway through the move, if I get a doji, it don't mean that much to me. You know, they really don't. Let's see. I'm playing with these sound effects. Forgive me. I was going to try to out Jim Cramer. So Jim Cramer is saying he basically called it. He knew this was going to happen. I don't know how he knew that, but
especially the data center and AI stocks. See, the money's headed to the sidelines or headed to high growth.
CRWV, CoreWeave, AI play. AI play, baby. Write that one down. CoreWeave. It's on my board. If you go to thepetersreport.com, I'm going to put it in here for you guys. I'll put it in the chat box if anybody's new. If you're just surfing the web and came across, appreciate you visiting. Hope you hang out, man. If you're looking for a place to trade, we'd like to have you. Come on, come join us. Okay, so CRWV, I'd write that down. NVDA, you guys know about that. That's the NVIDIA. Advanced Microsystems, AMD, down 4%. Palantir, PLTR, the retail cult stock. That's a cult stock if you've ever seen one. Like Tesla. It doesn't mean it's bad. It just means it has a cult following like Netflix. Broadcom, AVGO. Maybe that gives us a chance to get in. Palantir. Everybody hated Palantir during the last crash. I watched Palantir fall. I don't know. What the fuck did it go to? Like $4? Everybody hated it. Then it came back and went to 170. So I don't know if people like it. I guess they like it now. Not a lot of people liked it back then. Let's see. Hit that link there, man. I'll take you to thepetersreport.com. I put that out every Sunday. I update it throughout the week too, guys. What's up, Nick? Appreciate you being here. Thoughts on Ulti? I get a lot of people asking me, what are my thoughts on Ulti? What I think's going to happen? Oh, I got that one down. Is not going to zero, guys. You know that, right? They're just going to reverse split it. It can go forever. They just reverse
away from tech. I don't want to abandon the truly profitable companies involved in AI, and my trust hasn't. But I know a mania when I see one, and this one feels like it's starting to unwind. What am I scared of? Simple. A year I lived through, the year 2000. Back in 1999, I brought a company public that was losing tens of millions of dollars. It opened at $63. It went to $61. It went to $63. Same day. But before long, it had fallen to $2. I was still at my hedge fund back then. So I liquidated almost my entire portfolio. Went short, was what I saw from others. Hundreds of dot-coms were coming public, and they were all trying to raise more money while the insiders were selling their own stock. It was all so obvious. I swore if I ever saw it happen again, I'd flag it to you. So, I'm flagging it to you.
2008,
Back in April 2000, became clear that the rug had been pulled from underneath the owners of these dot-com stocks. So the institutional money flowed.
All right, now, guys, Jim Cramer went on fucking Good Morning America. Jim Cramer went on Good Morning America 2008 telling everybody to get the fuck out of the stock market. That next day was the bottom, by the way. Let me see if I can find that clip. Man, what is old Jimmy doing? What you doing, Jimmy? Don't get the people out. Let's see. You never want to get out. If you go all out like that, you are a complete dipshit. Seriously. There's no other word for you. Let's see. Where's it at, man? Man, I think they took it down. Wow. Did they take it down?
I think that crypto, I sold all my crypto. I announced everything on TV, what I did with crypto. But I would not touch crypto in a million years because I wouldn't trust the deposit bank.
And you're making no distinction between centralized, decentralized.
They fought regulation. They didn't want regulation, and you don't have regulation. So if you have your money in any of those, look, I'm not calling you an idiot. I'm just saying you're using a lot of blind faith. And I like to have my money at JP Morgan, and I check on Monday to see whether my balance is there. It's there. It feels good. Try getting your money out. When I had money, I'm not going to mention the firm that I had my money in, but it was a fight to get the money out. A fight. And I think that everybody who owns these various coins, damn. I think that crypto, I sold all my crypto. I announced everything on TV, what I did with crypto.
All right. Yeah. Oh, adjust him. That was Jim Cramer 2 years ago. All right. So 2 years ago. This guy, man. You know what? Maybe every once in a while, maybe he's right. What the hell is going on here? Hold on just a sec. I don't have my help today. All right, so this is a daily chart of Bitcoin. Let's take it to a monthly. And he's what, 2 years ago? Man, what was that, around 40,000 or so? That wasn't a good move, Jim. Come on, Jim. What you doing, man? Check it in on some regular stocks here. So let's check in on some of our speculative stocks. ENVX. All right, here we are. Man, look where it stopped. Right where it stopped before. So let's look at this. I hope you can see it. There's 3 of them there. 3 points of contact, man. Let's drop this down. So first thing I do when I look at any chart, I immediately look for any possible support or resistance. You know, and you could, those are the big ones, right? You can do some little mini ones in here, right there. You know, right around in here. You had some of the 200. That's pretty common, right? You can see here where it stopped after breaking through the, that's very common. Again, stopped right here when it broke through. Very common. Paused right here before it broke through going down. Pretty vicious move here, so it didn't stop much. Is this a daily? Yes, a daily. So we'll see, but here's what I've been waiting for right here. I'm waiting for that MACD histogram to turn up. Come on, man. When that ticks right there. So look right here. Tick, 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 tick. Look at it. That's what I'm looking for. Now, this ain't perfect, but it's one of the 6 things I'm looking at. I'm checking my RSIs. Now look here, though. The money flow didn't move at all. You see that? Fernando says, take it to 0. Fuck it. He said, fuck it, take it to 0. ENVX, what is it? KCRP. KRP is Kimball Royalty Partners. Let me see that real quick. Huh. No, it's KRCP. Yeah, KSCP. My bad. This is a, come on, man. Stock charts be acting crazy today. Oh, we got a goddamn breakout. Hell yeah. Hells yeah. Look at this, man. Look at this. We had our little sell-off. Right? And boom. There's our stage 1. So you put the S1, right? How do you know it's an S1? Well, the bottom is in. We'll just put a 1. How about that? The bottom is in. How do you know? Because it stopped going down, dude. That's simple. Bottom right there. So if that's the bottom, I'm going to put a little line there. I'm going to put a stop loss right under it. And then I'm going to wait. I need 4 bars, man. I need this thing to confirm. When it confirms, it's going to look like this. So we're trading this pattern. I'm looking for stage 1. Stage 1 here, accumulation zones. This is where money's coming in, but not enough to take it higher. But then as they start to bid it up, you're going to get that breakout. That breakout is price getting above the green line. The green line is the 20-day simple moving average. Time is fractal. Money's fractal. And Bitcoin's fractal. It's a fractal pattern, man. And if you have my book, The Money Flow, I hope you do. If you don't, go get it, man. Come on, man. What you doing? Let's go get the book. Get the book, man, The Money Flow. Go get the book, Garrett. Get the book. I need beer tonight, man. How am I going to buy beer if you don't buy the book? Does it matter what time frame you're waiting for the 4 bars on? It needs to be on the time frame you're trading. You can't trade on a weekly chart and take signals on a 1-minute chart. Okay, that wouldn't make sense. So the time frames have to line up. So I like to use what we used to call it the triple screen. That's what the guy that taught me to trade called it. Dr. Elder referred to it as the triple screen. And so you're looking at an example is if I'm day trading, I'm on a 1-minute chart. Let's get back to Bitcoin on this 1 minute, which I am day trading Bitcoin right now as we speak. So I'm looking at this on a 1 minute so I can enter and exit the trade, but I'm going to roll up to the 5 minute times 5 on the pattern to find my pattern or find my my direction. And if you look, you're starting to see it kind of roll over here. Look where we're stopping, dude. My God, look at this. Right where we stopped before. Whoop, whoop. Hello. Look at this. Man. Stop, 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 stop. And guess what? It's coming into the 200 period moving average. 200 period. Not 200 day, not 200 hour, 200 period. That means on whatever platform you're on, let me pull this up. It's the 200 period. It's only 200 a day when it's on a daily chart. When it's on a 1 minute chart, it's the 200 minute. And so you would treat everything exactly the same. I do. Every instrument, whether it be a commodity, and whether it be an MLP, whether it be an ETN, a REIT, REIT, it could be a stock, it could be a growth stock, it could be fucking Campbell's, it could be a penny stock. I don't give a fuck what it is. It could be gold, it could be silver. I'm long gold right now, silver, using the exact same strategy. Same things. Everything is exact. It's fucking boring. Everything is exactly the same. And the reason a lot of people struggle to do well in trading is you have 5 years of 15 different ways of trading. You don't have 5 years doing the exact same thing every fucking day over and over. Because when you catch a small, every time there's a sell-off, people change strategies. Now, not the MFG. If you trade with me in the MFG, you should be fucking ashamed of yourself if you do that. You're going to have sell-offs. And if you get over leveraged, it's not the strategy. If you didn't use stops and pull out on your trades, it's not the strategy, too. And sometimes people will play the strategy wrong, and then they blame the strategy and say, well, if I'd had a different one, it would have went different. It's like, no. All of this is inside of you. We all have everything we need to be bigger, better, faster, to know more, to do more, and to be more, to become more. Like everything we need is inside of us to be a great trader. You got to tap into it, though.
If you could comment on something we heard from Kathy Wood last week. You know, she has a target, I think by 2030, she had it at $1.5 million a coin, and recently suggested it might actually be closer to a 1.2.
Now, on the stage one, guys, on this right here, it's going down, 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 and stops. I don't care what time frame, whatever one you're trading. Now, I want to do this. If I'm trading on the 1 minute, I want to do this on a 5 minute or 15 or 30, whatever time frame you've decided to use, whatever it looks like. I mean, I'm fine with 30 minute on Bitcoin. I lowered my time frame to try to make some money on this move up. So I called an audible. I normally trade on the 30-minute chart. Okay. Let me pull that up. So I normally trade on a 30-minute chart. And over in here, you know, this is when a trade goes bad. Just didn't work. Right? So we had a little support in here. That's where the move will probably stop. And we started to break out. And so I'm hoping, you know, we're going to go up into here, the 105 range, and then pause and go sideways, and then run up, and then kind of go sideways. Maybe it comes down, but then it goes sideways. And we just work our way back to the big fat bank accounts. Now, whatever you do, don't play the game I would have, could have. Man, and definitely don't say what you could have bought with it, because that don't even matter, because you weren't going to do that. But I see people do that. So one of our speculative plays, KSCP, is breaking out. I would add shares to that. If you come over here to the Peters report, take this up a little bit. You know, I break down the market each week. So this Sunday, you're going to see me break down for last week. We got articles and charts. I put the charts that I like the best, ones that I'm watching. Some of them are constantly. I put videos that I think are worth watching from last week. Warren Buffett, Thanksgiving letter. He's given away $1.3 billion. He's worth 150 or some shit to 4 family foundations. Becky Quick talks about it there. This is one of my videos. And then, you know, whatever I come across that I think is pretty cool. And then reiterating the strategy, you know. Memorize this page here, page 11. Stock market goes up as much as 71% of the time. Problem is, it's not a straight line. Price can only do one of 3 things: move up, move down, or move sideways. That's it. That's all the fuck it can do. I believe prices do this in 4 stages, and by identifying the stage, we can better allocate our buys to take advantage of sell-offs, stage 4 declines, just a normal day. There's nothing special about it. It's just a decline. Every decline can't be the end of the fucking world, okay? We got to get past that. Every decline cannot be the end of the world. And it sure seems like it is a lot of times. Man, I never hit the button on Instagram. That sucks. Never did hit the button. Man. That's all right. We'll load it later. Man. Hold on just a second. Man, that sucks. Can't believe I did that. That's why it was showing. Aha. Okay. People that just came in from Instagram, one of our speculative plays, Nightscope, KSCP, for whatever reason, is breaking out. I'm surprised by this, actually. I mean, I know it's a good stock, but I'm surprised it's breaking out like this. If you go over, hold on. We're back to the petersreport.com. This is free. Just go to petersreport.com. This is not Substack here. The Substack letters kind of bring this to life, is what we're supposed to be doing. So in this in this issue, I guess you call it, publication, I have quite a few speculative plays in there. I thought I took this out, man. Nova Nordis has come back into our buy zone. MO came into our buy zone. A lot of dividend stuff, man. A lot of money out there. Okay. A lot of dividend money. Yeah, a lot of people are being a little bit. They really are. Hey, here's an MFG member. Get to meet and hang out, lives local. That's kind of cool. I look forward to that stuff. I like that, man. Nike was one of our plays. We got crude oil here, blah, blah, blah. Here's what I was getting to. So if you ever want to see what stocks I'm playing or what is on my mind for this week. Now, at first, this may overwhelm you. It may confuse you. And you say, wow, there's a lot of stocks on here. A lot of them are the same thing being repeated, okay? And so what I'm looking for in this is a fucking pattern. So I have this in my living room. Now, none of you guys, your wives wouldn't let you do that, man. Don't even act like they would. You know they wouldn't. And if you think they would, go do it this weekend and put it in your living room. Send me a picture. And so when I'm in the living room or I'm watching TV or I'm walking by, I just stare at it. And I'm looking at stage ones, the threes, who's paying dividends, breakouts, growth, our B&B strategy, right? And so I do the second income stream on a whole different board. And what I'm looking for is all those stage threes, I'm going to run down their true value on all of them every week. What is the value of this company? So if it's fair value or overvalued and it's stage three, I want to sell or trim into that strength. I would like to sell strength and buy weakness, not blow out on weakness and then come back in and buy higher. A lot of people like to do it that way. That's not a good strategy though, man. Instagram, that's not a good strategy, okay? Where you at? What's up, Henry? Come on, baby. That is not a good strategy of how to trade stocks, man. But sometimes, especially when you first start day trading, you can get yourself caught up in that shit easy. Back over here to Bitcoin. Bitcoin's breaking out on the 30-minute chart. Let's take it back down to 5 minutes time. It's fractal, right? And look where we're stopping. Right where we stopped before, right? We talked about this. Price has memory. It's one of the fundamental principles or a concept of the money flow that price has memory. Where price has stopped before, and it is not perfect, it stops again. Okay? That's how you, damn, drop my book. That's how you get support and resistance, by the way. That's how you get support and resistance. You can't have resistance if price doesn't bounce off of it. Same with support. Now watch this. On the 5 minute, we got a little excited when I got double dojis. That's the bottom. That's the bottom. Double fucking dojis does not happen often when you get them back to back on an extreme move down at a previous level support. That's just a buy signal up and down. If you're day trading, you buy that. and get ready to either get out or collect your money. Yeah, that's what that is. So I don't even think I wrote it on here. I'm hosting is it this weekend? I'm supposed to do it this weekend. Yeah, I'm going to be doing some day trading I think it's this weekend. I think it's Sunday. We do them periodically. Try to limit it to, I mean, we've had it, tons of people. It doesn't work well then. We can get it. It works best 4 or 5. You get too many and people can't talk. And Bitcoin runs 24 hours a day. So we can trade it at night. You don't need your favorite stock to learn to trade. You just need price movement. Okay. Let's see. Let me see here. Man, hold on. My bad. I thought I had it going. All right, so that's Bitcoin on a 5-minute. Let's take it down to the 1 minute. We can see it bouncing off of resistance right there. Now, if price holds this, see that doji? If price holds this right here, and there's 3 points to it, it might do that. I would expect it to go much higher. Now, this is just day trading. And so I'm just respecting market structure, watching my indicators, watching price, and it's the fastest way to learn to trade, man. And I wouldn't even do it to learn to. I mean, it's not to learn to day trade. It's to accelerate your swing trade so you can get it done faster. So you don't have to take 5 fucking years. In 1 week, you could take 100, 200, 300 day trades using the exact same thing that you do on a swing trade. It would take you 10 fucking years to do that. What we could do in a night or in a weekend or in a week. It'll take other people 10 years to take that many trades. 300, it's going to take a while. You're swing trading. If you're day trading, now here's the thing. Why do I want to be a day trader? Nobody asked you that. I'm trying to accelerate your learning. So crash coursing it like that is the best way. They had the date wrong on here. Man, they have the date wrong here. Sorry. Man, about to fire my help, man. What's going on? All right. Yeah, this is Sunday. I'll put it on my story as well. We're going to dig into ways that you can short-term trade Bitcoin with leverage, 5, 10 to 1. Been looking at perpetual contracts. That's working pretty good now on Coinbase. If you're not trading those, you might look in it. They don't expire. That's right. They don't expire. There is a holding cost. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about some of the ways people are earning passive income. The last time we did this one, I showed them 5 ways to own Bitcoin. And it's up. It went up. I mean, everything's up like 5x since then. I showed them 3 small cap stocks I like that are based around Bitcoin. I've got 2 or 3 new ones. The Bitcoin trade is getting tied in with AI trade, which is tying in utility stocks of all things. Is crazy. I didn't see that part coming. It makes total sense right now, though. So if you're interested in that, hit me up. We're going to have to limit it, though, man. I can't have 100 people in there. What's up, Lena? What's up? Yes. Hope you're doing well, man. Anyway, let's get back on this. I like this. I like this right here. This KSCP. We've been buying it for a minute. If you want to know what some of my more speculative stocks are, if you come over here to page 38 of the Peters Report and go to the back, I post it every Sunday. Basically do your homework for you. You can just watch my homework if you were just completely fucking lazy. And so right here, KSCP, Xena, ZNA. We got Bohr. We got Fresh, KSCP, and Xena. These are those are AI plays. It's AI drones, AI security, and then I forget what the other one is offhand. Oh, that's a good move, Lena. Lena says she bought BMNR. Nice play, nice pickup. That's actually a really smooth, good idea. I bought some a while back. I was kind of waiting to see how the day went in case we came crashing down again. If I didn't have any, you'd be damn, I would be all over it. Well, I'm green over here. Let's pull it up. I'm going to show you one of my accounts here. This account here, net count value has $160,111.18. Look right here. Yesterday or the 12th, buy 2 BMNR. Pretty small little buys. I was a little concerned about what's happening here. Man, what do we got? Well, we're green over here, so look at Bohr. Bohr's back into the positive. This stock's going higher, guys. We're only up 133% in lift. What do we got? 70% Procter Gamble, 67% in Philip Morris, 37%. That's not right, though. This 37% is not right. That's not right. Now, here's something you're going to see. This balance has grown even though it stays red because the dividends are so big. People have a hard time understanding this. It'll stay red. They stay red, guys. You're not going to get, if the color red bothers you, change the color on your screen. But your balance will go up even though it's red on your screen. CSX trains are up 252%. SoFi, man, we just started buying that not too long ago, right? We're up 297% in SoFi. That's not bad, right? Let me see. When did we start buying SoFi? 2004. Looks like the first one was 03. That's been a minute. That's not bad. We're up 300% on some of these buys. Not bad at all, man. We're up 40% forward. Some of these are wrong, man. That's not the way it is. Oh, let's see. BMNR. So let's check on this one. BMNR. Now, this is another retail cult stock here. That's what it's turning into. It's a new micro strategy. So look where it's stopping. I mean, we now have companies that don't even do anything to make money. Let's see. Look where it's stopping. Pretty close to where it stopped before. Actually, it could come down a little bit. Oof. You jumped in too soon, Lena. Oh, sorry. You jumped in too soon. The RSI is not extreme yet. That means it's going lower. The previous stopping point is about $5 lower. The TSI is pointing straight down and the MACD is flat, man. Baby, when you going to learn to trade the money flow? Yeah. You got to get on the money flow, man. A little too soon. It's going to probably pull it to that 200 like my man was saying here. I mean, maybe not. Maybe it doesn't. But you still, here's the problem. It's not considered oversold yet. I mean, it's still got a ways to go before the RSI even hits. The only thing saving you here is it does look like a doji. So too soon though. Pfizer's got a pill that can help you with that. Expecting to buy more at 30, then why buy at where you bought it? That makes no sense. Why would you just, I mean, you can. We're money flowing it. Can we do the money flow? Is that okay with you? Can we do it, please? Let's run through a few and then we'll get out of here. I don't know. AGNC looks great. So I guess it's not participating in the meltdown. Let's run through these. James says he bought some more Sol. Probably a pretty good. We're getting another breakout on Bitcoin again. Here we go. This is a runaway. Let's see. On the 1 minute chart, we're getting a breakout. Probably push up to this 97,300. Sorry, 90 right here. We're at 97.37. I bought 26 perpetual Bitcoin contracts. Feeling good about them right now, but now it's like, when do I get out? You get 20 to 1 leverage. 20 to 1 leverage. I would not advise doing a strategy where you pay more and then goes lower and you buy more and it goes lower, you buy more. Don't do that if you're leveraged. If you're on leverage, don't buy any when it goes down. You want to buy it when it looks like it's going your direction. Started a position. I know. Baby, we're doing the money flow. We're doing the money flow. Let's see. About to break down here. All right. So, let's see. All right. New drink. Let's see.
Several quarters and maybe even multiple years now about the secular bull run in technology. Is it over?
Wow.
I think we should expect from time to time profit taking because tech has been a leader for the last decade, and it is overbought. So I think it is going to be from time to time going to show extended weakness. But to me, the underlying story driving technology, which is the productivity miracle coming from AI, is still intact. Mary Erdos even talked about this earlier this week from JP Morgan that there's been a payoff in spending, and Lisa Su at AMD as well as noting that productivity lift is the reason AI spending is rising. That's actually still a tailwind for tech stocks. And names like NVIDIA are still reasonably priced. I mean, NVIDIA at 28 times forward earnings is still less expensive than buying Walmart or Costco. Costco is almost 50 times forward earnings.
All right, Ross, with that in mind, as you watch the price action play out, does it surprise you at all that we've seen this kind of a sell-off? Could we expect more of this in the coming weeks?
I don't know if we'll get more of it, but investors should expect more of it. I mean, if you look even at the late 90s during the heyday of the dot-com bubble, 96 double-digit sell-off, 97 double-digit sell-off in the NASDAQ, 98 big sell-off on LTCM and some other weakness, and then 99 even big sell-off in the NASDAQ. So double-digit sell-offs even in bull markets driven by new technologies and exciting new technologies are really common. And this one, is just par for the course, I think, amid a broader bull market. So as long as the technicals and the underlying trend isn't too damaged, I think it is a dip you can buy. But I think investors should always expect a little bit more weakness. We've been on a tremendous run off the April lows. That kind of momentum can't sustain forever.
Ross, do you feel as though there is any kind of a case to be made for a possible rotation trade? We've been exploring the possibility that maybe this broadening out could include less AI and tech and more things like perhaps energy or financials, something else along those lines. Does that thesis play out in the coming quarters in your mind?
Sure. And I think it's incredibly healthy that as AI is pulling back, we're getting some nascent leadership from things like energy. Healthcare has had a tremendous month thus far after being really beaten up for a couple of years. Financials, big banks, both in the U.S. and globally, have held up solidly. So, obviously the headline indexes are going to be weighed if big tech sells off, but I think it's incredibly healthy both on the earnings front and on the price front that you're seeing some breadth, especially at a time when the question about the broader economy outside of AI is how healthy is it, right? So this is a really good sign to me, and I'm happy to take a little bit of gains from tech and rotate into some nascent leadership there in other sectors.
Tom, the tariff tantrum issues aside from earlier this spring, specifically in April, we haven't really seen any kind of a pullback last that long. It seems like these things are getting shallower, they're getting shorter in duration. If it is the case here, does it still play out that way? What kind of stocks actually go and you want to buy on discount here heading into the year end?
Come on.
Yeah, well, I think it is helpful to think about where we are in the cycle. I know the Fed is a little hesitant the reason to cut in December, but the reason they're hesitant to cut is the economy is actually pretty healthy, and they just don't have a clear contour of how quickly inflation's cooling. That's a very good backdrop for corporate earnings, actually even corporate earnings to actually start to spread. So if the Fed gives us some guidance and visibility about, path forward, I do think business confidence picks up. That means that ISM starts to recover, and it is a broadening trade. So I would agree with the other speaker that, I like tech structurally because of AI spending, but there's still plenty of room for the small caps to work, which have really taken it in the gut as the Fed's sounded hawkish, and the banks. And so I'd be in sort of favor of a broadening trade as well. But I still like tech. And as you know, the AI trade comes under question every few months. There's always a big pullback. But for the last 5 years, investors have had to buy that pullback.
Ross, we'll give you the final word here. Does the Fed need to cut rates in December for this market rally to keep going?
They don't need to cut rates to keep the rally going. I think they should cut rates. I think there's enough labor market weakness and there's not enough upside pressure from inflation that they should be at least getting to their neutral policy stance with some haste. I don't think there's any reason to pause. We don't have any data, so I don't know what has caused the hawkish turn. Obviously, the underlying economy is not
Actually has some, can actually have some impact on. So I do think it makes sense for the Fed to cut.
All right, man. That's old Tom. He's pretty bullish all the time. I'm pretty bullish all the time because stocks go up 70% of the time. What's up, Big Dylan? So you see the channel we're in here? So we're day trading Bitcoin. Hey, when I sign off later today, I'm probably going to come on. I'm just going to let it run. I'm going to mark up the charts and I'm going to listen to a good trading audio book or something. Hopefully YouTube doesn't take it down or stop me. And obviously you can join me or just, turn the volume down and keep an eye on it. See if we can't do some day trading. Or at least keep an eye on it, right? Let's see. We're at 97,000 now. Man, I bought some at right under 95,000. So we're up 2,000 points since then. And you can see these money flow patterns, right? Boom, boom. Stage 3, stage 4. Not a very, when you get a fast moving, if it's on a nice trend, you're not going to get much of a pullback into that 4. And so, you got to play it tight. We can get into more in that. You know, we're going to use a little Bitcoin for newbies and dummies, but trading BTC to create cash flow. And, okay, why did it put a marker? We're going to do that Sunday night, 8 p.m. Central. If you don't do it, but you come in, man, I'm going to record it, obviously. I'll send you the recording. Let's see. Appreciate your time today, GP. When I'm rich as hell, I'm going to remember you. Please do, man. Put me on your Christmas list. Let's run through some more. We'll quickly run through some. All right, so this is over at, if you go to, we talked about this, if you go over to stock charts, go over to the public charts, not your charts, but the public ones, and you can follow the money flow trade ideas. I need to narrow the list down a little bit. That's the ones I'm following. I don't know if maybe the list is overwhelming people. We got Amazon breaking back above the 20. Got Bohr coming back up 3% today. This is still a stage 2. It never hit a 70 RSI, guys. Never hit a 70 RSI. This is still a stage 2. Hey, what's up, Mike? Yeah, that's right. We talked Wednesday night, doing. Yeah, man. Good to hear from you, man. I always like talking to Money Flow members and people that have been following the work. WU, Western Union stablecoins, will be on the Solana blockchain. It's about damn time they got involved in this modern day way of money transferring. It blows my mind that people were still standing in line to do that. That's crazy. Let's see. Oh, somebody in Discord asked about the full auto thoughts on a JD. Well, kind of live right now. JD is this is actually one of Jess's top picks. JD is a Chinese version of Amazon, I believe. Oof. Boys, come down, huh? Man. What about KWeb? This is the Crane Shares CSI China Internet ETF. All right, not too bad. If you're in Clip, that's what this thing charts, Clip. So look at that chart and look at the chart of Clip. They should be the same. Well, Clip's doing a little better. That's weird. Clip has paid like a 50% dividend yield as long as I've known it, man. Yeah, do one-on-ones if you guys. Matter of fact, I did one this morning. It was their first time they've ever been in a stage 4 decline, and they weren't sure what to do. Was thinking about getting out of the market. I'm like, so you're telling me the very first time it sells off on you, you're going to get out of the market? You don't have no fucking money in the market. Okay, $10,000 is no money. No money. You need shares right now. You don't need to worry about up or down. The goal when you have little money is to begin to build out the portfolio. And it's these stage 4s that are going to allow you to fill the holes. So when I started you don't want to like, I'm going to buy Exxon, Chevron, Conoco, and Halliburton all in one stretch. I'm going to buy AT&T, Verizon. You use these different sell-offs to add. So when it comes down, you don't have to add anything. You don't have to add to Exxon, even though Exxon is probably going up, right? Let's see. You don't have to add to Exxon. You could buy Chevron. So Exxon is trading at $118, right? So like down here on this last sell-up, when it was down here below the 100, I mean, guys, these is no fucking brainers. Any of these stage 1s, when you get stage 1s below the yellow line, the 200 period on a daily chart, they're no brainers, man. Let's see. We got a bunch of these right now. So if you go over to the Peters report, it says B&B MicroStrategy's on the list. CCIF, that thing right there pays a 27% or 23% dividend yield. It's fucking huge. It pays monthly. So it's paying like 2% a month Buy the shit on margin. Put 30 cents down and buy $1. So I don't know about you, but do 27 times or plus 27 plus 27. That's a lot of fucking percentage, right? So that's the kind of stuff, if I was going to buy on margin, I'd want to buy. Things paying me money like we do in our second income stream. Let's see. Maybe if you haven't had a chance to check that out, you might want to. Let's see. Boom. Second income stream where cash flow never sleeps. Sis, portfolio update, daily scoop, second income stream. Sis, what's happening right now in the stock market? 5 to 10 things move in the market. So I try to put these updates out as much as I possibly can. Sometimes it doesn't make sense because not much has happened since the last time. Yeah. Like there's not much to talk about. Now that's not a trading letter, okay, guys? At all. That letter, where are we at? Let's get back on this Bitcoin. That letter's for people trying to make cash flow, man. Income. Oh, so we broke there. Now, if I'm day trading, the moment we break that right there, I'm out. You know, I'm out. And look, RSI went 30. Everything's pointing down, 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 down. Everything is pointing down. Every single fucking indicator is pointing down. So where do you think it's going? Down. Are you still tracking Merck? Hells yes. Now, how would you know, Freddie? Freddie, if you read chapter 10 of my free ebook, You Don't Have to Die Broke. You might have a physical copy. I'm trying to see if I have one right here. If you read chapter 10, it's entitled Dog Power. I think one of the fastest ways to learn the stock market is to start following the dogs of the Dow. Or don't. I mean, that's another option. Just be dumb and don't. Just be a dumbass and just don't. Like, that's another option. That's the thing about the market. It gives us options, man. I got a hot chick out front of my door here taking pictures. They can't see that. I can see out. Tourists, man. Tourists. So right here, Dogs of the Dow, DOD. This is on page 38 of the Peters Report, completely free. Put it out every Sunday. I have for almost 6 years. I have tracked the Dogs of the Dow every single fucking day. Because if you learn those, if you learn them, all of those. All right, I'm starting to think she's flirting with me now. If you learn these, where are we at? Oh, Merck. You're going to learn a lot of different things going on. You know, if you keep just those 10 stocks, man, those 10 stocks have beat the market. And if you run the money flow over them, Verizon, Chevron's flying, Amgen was flying, Coke's flying, Procter & Gamble, Johnson & Johnson's been flying, UNH, Nike, and Home Depot, man. I mean, that's a hell of a lineup. So let's see. I mean, what would you need to do? Only thing you could do to that is fuck it up. What was it? AMGN. Look at Amgen. Look at this. These are Dogs of the Dow right here. And I get it all the time. What stock should I trade, Jared? I don't know what stocks to buy. How can I possibly know? And I'm like, well, this strategy's been around for 50 fucking years. Possibly one of the most successful strategies. Look how, man, look at this. Resistance. Look at that. 1, 2, and 3. And when we broke through it, man. Nice. That's Amgen on a daily. What else we got over there? CVX. Kind of getting a breakout. Oh, shit. I'm sorry. I wasn't sharing it. Let me go back. There's Amgen. That's what I was talking about. Look at Amgen here, man. Look, this thing is like almost a picture perfect chart. That's how resistance is made, by the way. When price hits this point and stops, man, or where it's been before. These in here, these are a little far away to count, but they have their own little line going. And all these lines they're not science, more like hand grenades. It's just to give you to play off of. So Merck correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not looking at it, but I think the fair value is a 118 according to Morningstar. Somebody wants to verify that for me. I appreciate it. I think it's 118. So let's look at Merck. I like Merck. Hope you don't. Let's see. Now, pharmaceuticals were doing terrible. Look at this. Come on, baby. So it's time to trim it, really. Let me check out the weekly on this. Okay. Man, look at the weekly. So one of the things that I was looking at before on this weekly for the bottom, look, that is a doji on the very bottom. Man, oh man. Got another one over here. And we got some here. So we know this thing can do some dojis. And call the bottom. That was the bottom. Over there's the bottom. And over there's the bottom. How cool is that? Can't see it, huh? Not sure what you mean by cart, but let's see. Yeah, so all the pharmaceuticals have been running. That's what we do here, man. Look right here. XLV Healthcare. It was a stage 1 when we put this up. Now it's been running. Let's see. XLV stage 1. So restaurant stocks are on my list right now. Restaurant stocks are catching my attention. Oh shit, 120. Oh boy, I wasn't too far off. I said 118. So I missed it by $2. I mean, I have 200 and something stocks in my head fucking memorized. So I was pretty close, right? Now we have Bitcoin bouncing off the 200. I'm gonna get off here. I may come back and just do some trading just since it's moving, man. And I got an audio book I'm listening to, a trading one. And I might send it out as a private link. Come on. There we are. Man, look at us hitting this 200, which you'd expect it to do. I mean, it's all pretty much. I don't know what's going on with here.
Because Greg Zuckerman's one of the best writers out there. He's author of 6 books, 2 of which were co-written with his sons. So let's talk more about the story and crypto and more with Greg Zuckerman, special writer at the Wall Street Journal. Greg, whenever you do something, it's a big deal. Why are you turning your laser focus to Bitcoin?
So, Brian, to me, this kind of trade is the most interesting one other than AI out there, meaning the companies, the stocks that sold shares and turned around and bought crypto with it. They're the marginal buyer in the crypto market lately. So what happens if they don't buy? What happens if they start selling? Does it impact the whole economy if crypto gets affected? To me, this is the most interesting thing going on out there.
You look at stocks, too, and a lot of our viewers, maybe they don't own or trade crypto, maybe they will, but you look at like a strategy, formerly known as a MicroStrategy. Michael Saylor, when it works, it works. What he did is he took a software company, basically became a crypto repository. With the price of crypto goes up, his stock goes up, but his stock is down 50% since its highs in the month of July. But other companies too, Greg, right? Other companies are copying this. I looked up an industrial company on Long Island the other day. It's been around for 60 years, and now the website says Solana Repository.
Yeah.
Yes. It's back, we remember back at
Yeah, man. I'm going to do that for Bitcoin Cash.
in 1999, everyone was putting a .com on a company and it started soaring. A lot of these companies are serious. They're believers in crypto. They think it's going to go higher. There are all kinds of ways they can amplify the gains. But at the end of the day, they're levered bets. These are stocks that are levered bets on crypto. And if crypto goes down, they go down even more. So far, these small investors that we've talked to, individual investors, have been hanging in there. They're confident, they think, they believe, especially Michael Saylor is a good salesman. We will see if the pain gets worse. What
It's gone down 80% at least 10 times. These wild swings for Bitcoin are not new. They're, in fact, if you're a crypto investor, not just Bitcoin, you're kind of either used to them or you have to get used to them, right?
Yeah, they kind of mock people like me. Oh, wow, we're down 30%. Greg, you're all excited. Hang in there, relax. We're used to this. We embrace it. They buy more power to them. It's worked. You know, those of us who've gone through some crises, financial crises in our lives, we think, well, maybe this is the time where it actually gets crushed. And then the question is, does it affect the economy? Does it affect the broader market? Back when Sam Bankman-Fried's company fell apart a few years ago, it didn't really have an impact. Will be interesting to see if something happens like that in the
I'm pretty sure it did have an effect. So check this out. Where it's stopping is right at the 200 period, because this is a 1 minute chart. So it'd be a 200 period, not a 200 day, right? Moving averages are fractal. Time is fractal, as is money. You know, in other words, you can have 100 pennies or you can have $1. But 100 pennies is $1. It's fractal. You can break it up. Take Bitcoin, turn it into Satoshis. It's all fractal, man. Time is fractal. And so time continuity is what we call that when you lay time on top of thing. So this stopped basically where we thought it would. So how would I trade this? As a day trader, I'm looking for it to break above this little box. I'm looking for boxes. That's a box. That's a box. This is a box. Box, box, box. These little clusters of price. Well, these little boxes are where price returns to. Price is drawn to it, man. Freddie, it can't go to zero, baby. They just reverse split it. It's not a company. It's not a stock, man. It's a synthetic derivative. They just change the price. There you go. Done. That's what they're going to do. That's what I would imagine they're going to do. Why wouldn't they do that? Just keep it going. You know what I mean? You can take a $4 stock and make it a $40 stock. Oh, man, it just broke. What this is Bitcoin, baby. Let's see, but it just broke. Damn it. Why, Jesus? Man, if it breaks, maybe we're headed downtown. It's a 1 minute chart, though. We're day trading Bitcoin. You can do that now with perpetual contracts on Coinbase. Unless you're scared. Oh, no, Jim, I want to click the button. Scared. You should get signed up on it, even if you don't use it, because it's a great way to hedge at times. You can short Bitcoin very easily over there. You could short XRP. You could go long XRP. You could go long XRP and short Bitcoin and create a spread or a hedge. You can go long or short the FANG 7. So you could have went short with those contracts against, well, it'd be futures contracts, but went short in one account while you're long in the other. Just food for thought, man. I would get the account. You might want to use it later on for something. I'm going to talk about this on Sunday. If people are interested, if they're not scared of Bitcoin now, which it does tend to happen. The last time I did a Bitcoin for newbies and dummies, Bitcoin was at like 28,000, I think, 25,000, some shit. Anyway, the Bitto was one that I talked about on there, and it went up 400 or 500%. I don't know if that'll happen this time, but I have some new stocks and some new plays around Bitcoin that we're going to talk about, and how Bitcoin works, and how to use perpetuals or futures contracts to trade Bitcoin at a 5, 10, 15, or 20 leverage. We might throw in some gold in there too. Show you how to trade it at 20 leverage. 20 to 1. 20 to 1 leverage. So the way you do that, guys, is you don't play big positions. You play small positions, okay? Because you're leveraged. You don't need that much money. All right. Gold's working its way back. I'm surprised gold got hit today. Gold got hit along with everything else. That surprised me. I'm long gold contracts right now. Silver, boom's coming back. Those surprised me, man. I'm going to be honest. Sometimes I feel like I've been out of sync the last couple of, not on everything. We got some shit kicking ass. But I am really surprised that gold, that Bitcoin sold off like this. Let's see. Oh, Freddie said, thanks for the feedback. Taking time to do these lives. You bet, man. I'm going to get back on them more. Looking for a writer and a co-host. So keep that in mind. It's hard to find people who can write, trade, research stocks, and all that shit at the same time. So these are, Fresh was one of our, I added 4 or 5 AI type stocks to our speculation list. Boom! Come on, baby. So here we go. Fresh, FRS. This is Fresh Works. We've had several of these. This one's Freshworks. Freshworks is a software company. It's a software as a service, which is with the acronym is SaaS, solutions to fall into 2 product families: customer experience, CX, and employee experience, EX. CX products include Freshdesk, Freshchat, Fresh Sales, and Fresh Marketer. EX products include Fresh Service, Fresh Company, Fresh Service for business teams, blah, blah, blah. Solutions, Freddie, an AI agent, and Freddie AI Copilot further enhance customer and employee experience. Fresh seeks to uncomplicate your IT and customer service, provides an enterprise-grade AI-assisted service software to deliver exceptional customer service and employee experience. Sounds a lot like a lot, right? So let's see. It's not a bad chart, man. I wonder if we could have day traded this bad boy. Does it have the volume? Now, see how sketchy it is? Xena was another one. Xena Tech. Ooh, Xena Tech's gotten hit hard, man. This was probably the most speculative of these. This is a small company. This is $150 million market cap, man. This is basically a penny stock. Chart looks about the same as a lot of other of these stocks. Very small stock. Speculation. Xenatech is a technology company specializing in artificial intelligence, AI drones, drone as a service, or DaaS. You learned 2 different acronyms today, SaaS, and now you learn DaaS. Enterprise quantum computing solutions for mission critical business applications. It operates in software development technology, sales and distribution, and drone manufacturing. Damn. This thing makes robots. Or I keep hitting the wrong button. I like it. Air drones driven by quantum computing, bring a new strategic vision to, look at this thing. What in the fuck, man? Make Sunday service great again. Just hit me up, Austin. Make sure you got all my materials, though. Bringing a new strategic value to business. All right, so, we want to make sure they're real businesses before you buy any of these small ones, and you just got to know what you're buying, man. I think that'll wrap it up. Hey, I appreciate you guys, man. If take this down, anything I can do for you, you let me know. My number's on there, my email's on there. It's pretty easy to get a hold of me, man, anytime. And happy to help you. If you're interested in doing this, we're using Bitcoin, but it's a Bitcoin and it's a day trading thing. So hit me up. As always, looking for somebody to trade with in Discord. We'd be happy to have you, man. It's a lot of fun. I love Discord. Some people are too cool for it. Let's see. But I do believe it definitely helps your trading, man. Hey, love you guys, man. Peace.